Hi everyone, it's Tracy here from Art Fiber Stitch again, and I'm just wanting to do a final part to this series that we've been looking at with transforming clothes. And stitching outside the square is what I'm concentrating on now. I've already put these pieces on this lovely linen top that I got from the thrift shop. You've seen me stitch some pieces onto a panel and then add some more pieces, and I've really enjoyed it, but I'm wanting to do a little bit more stitch. You can see here what I'm aiming at. So can you see how I'm joining all of these squares up? I'm going outside the square. I'm finishing that. I'm going down. I'm leading into the next square. And so that is the idea. I'll just show you this to see if you can pick up some of the ideas I've used. Sometimes I go around those circles. Sometimes I extend outside there of that square, like to make that leaf complete. And I just imagine where the lines would continue to go. And can you see here, I'm starting to do this. That branch on that there looks like it could be the edge of his tail, and it lines up perfectly with his head. So I start to do some running stitches there. I even think that lace that's like those little hoop shapes, now that looks like it could be feathers. Here on the right you can see I've used a blue cotton, and I just extended the shape of those blueberries out. Same here. But although I've had a lot of fun with this, I thought you might like to see the last bit when I really connect it up. So start looking for patterns. Look for how you could continue designs. Look for how you can connect these different parts into a whole. Well, that bird, I'm really liking that. See here, I've added in a little leaf shape, and I'm just continuing, going on wherever my imagination takes me. But I'm wanting to do something with this bird patch. I could extend those berries up. I could play with those flowers. I could highlight some bits on that bird because he really is a little bit dark. And I just want it to connect in with the whole story that we're telling with all of these patches. Right now I'm grabbing a plastic placemat, putting it underneath because I don't want to stitch through into the back. That would really annoy me. So here's a picture of the bird. I've already started doing a little bit of running stitch in a lighter blue to pick out the line of his wing. And now I'm going to look at a few other things that I can add in. So I've chosen some thread, and I am going to thread my needle, and then I am going to go to the underside, and I'm just going to do a couple of stitches where I want to start, and that will knot it off, and you know, with very little stitching behind to show for it. In fact, I've tried to think of that the whole way through. Remember the panel that I put on? We did a lot of the stitching before we put it on so that we wouldn't have too much stitching showing through to the inside of the shirt. But here we go, and I'm just going to start here. I'm going to pick out just a little bit of that, those blueberries that are hanging down there, and just do running stitch. Simple enough. And I'll go around one shape, and then I'll go up the stem and see where that leads me. This is what I call going with the flow. You know, just letting your intuition and your creativity just let you, you know, glide from piece to piece, and where you see something that you might want, add it in. But I'm just going to go here and just continue this shape of this berry outside of that square so it goes onto the shirt. Well, I'm really bringing the design into the rest of the shirt just a little bit. Now, did you see there? I'm getting in a bit of a tangle because my thread is way too long to be comfortable. I've just pulled the tail end of it a little bit more through the eye of the needle, and some of it will be double, but some of it not, you know, so I'm really just making sure I can pull it through easily, and when it gets close to being the double area, then I will I will stop and pull a little bit more through that eye of the needle. Just giving myself a little bit more thread when I need it, without having too longer thing to pull through every time. So up here I'm going up and back again, 2 parallel lines to sort of suggest the stem of these berries. And I'll just do a little bit of the berry shape as well on the ones that are cut off maybe, and that will do me. Now let's get back to this bird. It's got a lovely jewel light blue quality to it, but it's awfully dark. I just want to pick out some more of those details with a lighter, you know, blue thread or a shiny thread or something that's going to pick up the light and allow you to see more detail. So it's already there. I'm just doing a running stitch around wing shapes and or feathers, and sometimes I might do a little bit of seed stitch. Look here, see that shape there? We've picked out that wing, and here's a little glimpse of these berries I finished off. I didn't do much, it was enough. So I'm back here again, and now I am thinking I might do just something more that's going to pick out the details of this bird, but using a slightly different color blue. I even took the line of his tail, which gets cut off at the end of my patch, and I finished it by going outside the edge. I've now started to bring in a little seed stitch. I've only done very simple stitches, just ordinary, like a long stitch, a running stitch, which is more than one stitch, and a seed stitch, which goes in different directions. I've picked out in a shiny blue thread, you know, some of the areas I want to really have perk up a bit and get your attention. There's many other areas. I could continue those flowers that are in that patch, or the leaf. Many things that I could follow. But I'm happy to just stop now, because I think I've given you some good ideas of things that you could do, and especially if you look for some interesting fabrics. I've had a lot of fun with this, and I hope you've enjoyed watching, and maybe you've gotten brave enough to have a go yourself, or maybe you're very accomplished and I hope it's just egged you on to get started on a nice new project. I thank you for watching, and don't forget, you can always subscribe or like this station if you would like to see more. There's ideas aplenty, and I want to encourage you all to just give it a go. And if you are going to sew, why not put it on something to wear? It will make you stand out as an individual and show off some of your work. It doesn't take much. Thanks again for watching.